Hello guys, welcome back again. This is the NMBI Employment Form. I want to explain to you how to fill this form again. This is the employment form. It's one of the documents you're going to be asked to upload in your portal if you're applying for NMBI Overseas Nurses registration. So when you get to your stage 3 in your applicant portal, you're going to see list of documents you are meant to upload. So one of it, you'll be asked to download the employment form. It's going to be in your portal. Once you download the form, and this is how to fill it exactly. So name, as usual, I was explaining in my previous video about the qualification form. So like if you have worked in, just as if you have worked in different places, you need to download as many forms as possible or get as many copies of the form as possible, because you need to send the form to everywhere you've worked in the past if it's relevant to your application. So you need to get as many forms as possible for every place you've worked in the past. And same thing goes for your qualification form. Like if you attended so many schools, like your nursing school was different, your midwifery school was different, and you need to get as many forms as possible and get them to fill that for you as well. So employment form, this is the name. So whatever your name is, you fill it in. ABCD. This is just a sample. So like I said before in my previous video, if you are filling the form on your PC, on your laptop, or on the computer, it's something you can edit. It's a PDF editable format that you can actually type on. So that is your full name, first in Ireland. That is always first name. The first name comes first before any other thing if you are filling any form, and your last name comes next. Okay, your last name comes next. Surname. Yeah, so in Ireland or European applications, always first name starts first and your last name or your surname comes last. Okay, so your employment form and your date of birth is going to be same thing, day first, month next, and the year. Yeah, and the year last. So day, month, and year in that format. I want you to know there are specific instructions attached to this form. So the form says this form must be completed by the director of nursing or midwifery, or your matron, your nurse or midwife manager. So like anyone in charge of your ward can fill the form for you. Anyone in charge, a charge nurse, can fill the form for you, and anyone can fill it for you. Anyone any designated authority can fill the form for you. Like if you're working in a private institution, your HOD can fill the form for you. A nurse in charge can fill the form for you. Not someone that is not licensed, not a quack in that sense of it. So a clinical director can fill the form for you. Anyone that could stand in gap of the nursing leader can fill the form for you as well. So because NMBI can get in touch with the employer, can get in touch, even HR can fill the form for you as well. Human resources, they can reach out back to them and ask them what they have filled, if it's actually correct. So forename and surname, this is the details. This section here is the details of the person filling the form for you. This form was completed by, so if, for example, if I'm working in your institution and I'm your employer or HR or whatever, your nurse manager, so it's gonna be my name. It's not yours. It's gonna be my date of birth because I'm the one filling the form. It's gonna be the name of the place of employment, the title, my position in the hospital, because they want to know if it's a director of nursing or a nurse in charge or nurse manager or a matron that is filling that form, the exact date and email. And again, about the email, this one doesn't have to be official email. It's the signatory email. It's just the email of the person filling the form. So it's not necessarily the official email. So this one could be Yahoo Mail, it could be Gmail, it could be anything. It's acceptable. So the date is the date the form is being filled, and the address is just the address of your hospital and the department, if it's applicable. So for example, if you worked in like 5 different wards in your hospital, like some people they always rotate them around. You have to work all over the place, so they have to provide specific information for each place you have worked in that hospital. If you were in one particular department, like you were working on the gynae ward, and ever since you got employed into that place, you were working as on the gynae ward, so you only need to fill one aspect. So this is a sample that you need to fill. So here it is. So this form, since I said it could actually expand because it's an editable PDF format. So assuming you are printing it out and you have more things to say or more things to write, you can use one or two more slots. And if you have more pages to add to the form as you are filling for one specific hospital, note that this form is for one institution at a time. It's for one hospital at a time. So if you've worked in 5 different places and you want to send all of them to NMBI, you need 5 of these forms. So one form for one institution at a time. So depending on whatever you are filling, if you need more space at whatever time, if you are printing it out by paper, then you can actually use one or two more slots and print more pages. You can print more pages to expand the information you need as much as possible. And if you are filling it online, or if you send it to them by post, it can actually expand. Like, so you keep going, you keep typing. I'm not typing anything now, so it's just a sample. So now let's start filling. They have already said, like, if you worked in children's ward, so the first specialty is gonna be your children's ward. So you worked on the children's ward. So that is the first one. To begin with, if you worked in 5 different places, let's give an example. If you worked in 5 different places, like you worked medical ward, you want to write it here. It's the same hospital, medical ward. You're not the one filling this form, but it's gonna be your nurse manager filling the form for you. But sometimes you need to give them a guide of what you did. You can jot it down on a piece of paper and they would just help you to write it properly, because some of your managers, they don't really know what places you have worked in the past, because it's one person filling the form and signing the form. They can get in touch with the different wards and ask them if what you wrote was true. So you can jot it down on a piece of paper just as a guide for them to know what to put inside, because most of them, they might not really understand what you want to do. So you worked on the medical ward. Here you worked on the surgical ward. What else? Operating theater. Yeah. So, and gynae ward. Like I said, this is a sample for one institution at a time. In this particular institution, you've worked in 5 different places. You've worked on 5 different wards. So your title on that ward is going to be, when you were on the children's ward, maybe you were just, for example, nursing officer 1. Yeah. Or when you were on the medical ward, maybe you were nursing officer 2, or whatever it is. Or maybe you were on the surgical ward as a senior nursing officer. Or here, principal nursing officer. Yeah, so this is just a sample. So if you were on the children's ward as a nursing officer 1 or 2, it could be the same for the same. It could actually be NO1, nursing officer 1, for all of them. It could be in Ireland, nursing officer 1 or nursing officer 2. There are staff nurses, roles. So roles of senior nursing officer or principal nursing officer could be CNMs, clinical nurse managers in Ireland. But in your hospital, you have to specify title or role. That's what that actually means. So I would suggest this thing, you write it down on a piece of paper, all the words you've gone to, how to fill it up, and you jot it down and give it to the person that is going to sign it for you and verify your information if it was correct or not, and then they'll fill it up and sign it for you. And duties are a responsibility. So what you were actually doing, they've given us a sample here. They've given us a sample. So it could be, okay, I'm gonna take 3. Sorry, now I'm gonna take 3 of them here. 3. I'll put that on, yeah, children's ward. It's actually too much now. That's why I said if you need more space, you can always add more space. So, or you can always add more space, because roles for children's ward could go beyond 3 lines, so you need more pages to print if you're doing something like that. So you are providing clinical supervision of junior staff members here. So competence level, this means maybe when you started, because the levels are being rated in Ireland, like level 1, level 2. Level 1 is beginner. Maybe you were starting as a beginner and someone was putting you through. Maybe you just started in that same that time. So level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's like 5 levels: beginner level, intermediate level, competent level, professional level. So whatever level you feel, it could be the same level in the same institution. So you can say level 1, level 2. So that could be level 3, for example. Level 3. If this institution, maybe you were already experienced before you joined them, so that could be level 3 or level 4. If you have someone like PNO, SNO, CNO, so that could mean level 5, because that's a supervisory level 5. So, and dates employed, these are the dates that you actually worked on the unit, if you could remember. If you can't really remember, like the days you got employed with the institution, you can divide them, like every 2 months you got to change, or every 3 months, or every 6 months you got to move around all the other departments in the hospital. So that is about that. Then medical ward, what did you do on the medical ward? That's another role. What you did on the medical ward, I would say medical ward. Okay, for example, let's see. So for example, when on the medical ward, this is just a sample. So you can say taking patient samples, pulses, that's vital signs. Another one, writing records. You can number them. You can say A, yeah, B. So where is it? B. Supervising junior staff members, see, like that. So you can actually write, you don't have to write everything, just 2 or 3 is fine, just 2 or 3 points under each one is fine. Make sure you are writing cogent points, and the points you are meant to put here under responsibilities are the points listed in your job description. Like you can get a job description for NO1 in your hospital, for NO2, for SNO, for whatever description it is. You can put 2 of each at a time, and the level you were in, either you were level 4 competence level, or level 5 or level 3. Level 1 is definitely a beginner, someone just starting, resuming work, or a graduate from nursing school. If you have like 4 or 5 years experience, you should be operating at level 4 or 5. And dates employed, that's just a normal date. You just put 00 as usual, 00000002 00/00/000. So that is it. So you fill them up, and that's the last thing. If you need more pages, you can always print more. If you need more pages, and if you want to write a really good point, you can actually fill more and more. So I would suggest, so one form for one institution at a time. If you've only worked in one place since you left school, then you can only fill one is enough. If it's up to 12 months, well, 12 months is enough for NMBI. But if you're feeling something like this for an employer, if an employer is giving you a form like this to verify all the places you've worked later on, you're gonna need to really fill them in details, because they want to an employer matches them up, all your experience, and verifies them so as to know what level they're gonna put you when you resume your work in Ireland, and that's exactly the salary level you're gonna be paid. So if you don't write them correctly for an employer, and they're not gonna add it up eventually. But for NMBI only needs maximum of 12 months work experience in the last within the last 12 months anyway. They just want you to be in active service for like 12 months or more. So but one employment form for each institution you have worked, to give you more credibility, especially if you're having one or more divisions, so you need more experiences regarding those areas as well. So one form at a time. I would suggest, as I've said before, fill the form, get the pages, fill those things and the dates and your competence levels, and bring it to your nurse manager, and they're gonna check it, assess it. If it's correct, then they'll fill it up for you, and they'll sign and fill the form for you and sign, and that's it. So employment form is not to be notarized. Again, it's not to be notarized, it's just to be uploaded. Once you have them, you upload back in your applicant portal, and that is it. Once you upload in your applicant portal, if you have as many more forms to fill, then you can always send a letter to email by email to NMBI and request for additional document button. You need to specify your name in the letter by email. Specify your name, your address, and what you are trying to do in the email. And sometimes if you go open your applicant portal and you go to account section and you click on my documents, you're gonna see all the documents you have been uploading, and you see a place to add more documents as well. But if you don't find one for any reason, then send them an email requesting for additional button to add document. So that is it. I hope this has helped to greatly answer some questions regarding the filling of the NMBI employment form. I don't want you to make any mistakes. Note that your employment name, is the name you're bearing with them. It might be different. It doesn't have to be the same name on all your employment forms, because when you first started working might be a different name from the name you are bearing now in your current workplace. Provided, included in your application, you have a sworn affidavit of change of name, and you have your marriage certificate or whatever, just as a backup. A proof of change of name is enough. Even an affidavit is enough. Even if you don't have a marriage certificate or something like that, is enough. So, and this section, this is for the person filling the form for you. It's not for you. It's not for you personally. So that's the name of the person filling the form, the address, the date, and the signatory email. I hope that really helps. If they have the stamp, they stamp it for you. They need to stamp it and sign on the stamp as well. They sign it and stamp on the sign as well. And the email doesn't have to be the official email. It's just the signature email. It could be Yahoo, it could be Gmail, it could be anything, Hotmail and stuff like that. I hope this has really helped someone. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.